Let's get one thing straight. Australia is not what Hollywood promised me. I expected Chris Hemsworth wrestling a crocodile at sunset. Instead, I got humidity, confusion, and a city where the biggest danger is crossing the street the wrong way. The marketing is genius: beaches, koalas, the opera house. What they skip: spiders the size of your hand, birds that sound like cartoon villains, and a condiment that tastes like salty regret. I packed for adventure, but I should have packed a dictionary. The real challenge? Deciphering a coffee menu with more options than Netflix. My shrimp on the Barbie line? Useless. They say prawns. Lesson 1. Everything you think you know is wrong. Australia is less action movie, more slow burn comedy where you're the punchline. If you're coming here for heroics, recalibrate. Prepare for sunburn, confusion, and conversations that go nowhere. And honestly, it's so much better that way. My first day in Australia was a sensory ambush. The sun doesn't shine, it interrogates. 5 minutes outside and I was sizzling. Hats and sunscreen aren't fashion, they're survival. Coffee? Forget it. I asked for a regular and got a quiz. Flat white? Long black? Piccolo? I pointed randomly and got 2 sips of rocket fuel. The birds? Not gentle chirping. More like a kookaburra cackling at my misery and cockatoos screaming like fire alarms. Then came the slang. Flat out like a lizard drinking. See you this arvo? I just nodded, clueless. Thongs are shoes, chook is chicken, and a biscuit is a cookie. My American English was useless. I felt like a spy with the wrong codebook, lost and smiling. Australia speaks English, but it's a whole new language. The only thing stronger than the coffee is the sense of confusion. Welcome to Australia. You see kangaroos on postcards everywhere, smiling, bouncing, looking like the friendliest creatures on Earth. It's easy to believe the hype if you've never met one in person. But let me tell you, those images are pure lies. Kangaroos aren't gentle pets. They're absolutely jacked, unpredictable, and they travel in mobs that look more like a street gang than a family outing. My first real encounter? A whole group of them just standing there, staring me down like nightclub bouncers deciding if I was cool enough to get in. Spoiler, I wasn't. Our wildlife guide didn't sugarcoat it. He warned us, "Don't make eye contact, that big one, he can rip a man open with a single kick." Suddenly the whole vibe changed. In an instant, kangaroos went from cute to absolutely terrifying. And what about koalas, you ask? Sure, koalas look adorable, but here's the truth. They're basically stoned all day from munching on toxic eucalyptus leaves. That's why they always look so spaced out. They sleep up to 22 hours a day. Honestly, they're the spirit animals for every college student during finals week. And just when you think you've got the hang of Aussie wildlife, someone warns you about drop bears. My Aussie friends swore I needed to smear Vegemite behind my ears to avoid attacks from these carnivorous koalas. I took it seriously, because, well, everything else here could kill you. I spent a whole week nervously checking the trees, only to find out it was a national prank on clueless tourists. The real threat? Still kangaroos. Turns out, the real Australian sport isn't rugby. It's messing with foreigners and seeing how long they'll fall for the joke. Australia, where the animals are ripped, the jokes are even meaner, and you're never quite sure what's real. Lesson learned. Never trust a cute face, and definitely never trust an Aussie telling a story with a straight face. If you survive the wildlife and the pranks, you've officially passed the first test of visiting Australia. And trust me, after all that, you'll never look at a kangaroo or an Aussie joke the same way again. Vegemite, Australia's culinary Everest. It's the dark, mysterious spread that every Aussie swears by, and every visitor approaches with a mix of curiosity and dread. It sits on breakfast tables across the country, a rite of passage for anyone brave enough to try it. My host said, just a thin scrape. But eager to impress, I slathered it on like peanut butter. Big mistake. The room went quiet as I took my first bite, and I instantly understood why they'd warned me. It tasted like a battery dipped in soy sauce. Salty, sharp, and utterly unforgettable. My taste buds were in shock, and my hosts were in stitches. But redemption was just around the corner, in the form of Tim Tams. These chocolate biscuits aren't just a snack, they're an experience. Australians have invented the Tim Tam Slam, where you bite off both ends and use it as a straw for your coffee. Genius and delicious. The Tim Tam Slam quickly became my daily ritual, a sweet reward after my Vegemite ordeal. It's the kind of thing that makes you feel instantly at home, like you've unlocked a secret handshake. For every Vegemite, there's a Tim Tam. Balance restored. But just as I was getting comfortable, I was introduced to the snag. The name conjured images of exotic meats or mysterious delicacies. Turns out it's just a humble sausage, served on a slice of white bread topped with grilled onions and a squirt of tomato sauce, which is really just ketchup. Simple, but somehow perfect. The sausage sizzle is more than a meal. It's a national event. Parks fill with the smell of grilling, and strangers become friends over a shared love of snags. Australian barbecues aren't about fancy sides or complicated recipes. They're about not overthinking it. Just good food, good company, and plenty of laughs. Just eat, enjoy, and don't fuss. And then, there's the parma. A giant cheesy chicken cutlet, smothered in rich tomato sauce and bubbling cheese, served with a mountain of fries and a token salad on the side. It's the king of pub meals. Every pub claims theirs is the best, sparking endless debates among locals. It's a point of pride, and a delicious one at that. Food here is straightforward, oversized, and best enjoyed with a cold beer in hand. There's no pretense, just hearty portions and big flavors. The cuisine is a perfect metaphor for Australia itself. Unpretentious, hearty, and a little bit wild around the edges. It's about sharing, celebrating, and not taking yourself too seriously. If you survive your first taste of Vegemite, you've truly earned your place at the table. It's a badge of honor and a story you'll tell for years. And if you master the Tim Tam Slam, you're basically a local. You'll be welcomed with open arms, and maybe another Tim Tam. Just don't ask for ranch dressing. Trust me on this one. Some things are better left at home. Think you speak English? Go to Australia. Suddenly you're lost. Every word is shortened. Tradie, arvo, mozzie, servo. I thought arvo was a holiday. Phrases mean the opposite. Yeah, nah means no. Nah, yeah means yes. It's a verbal roller coaster. Directions? You can't miss it. I missed it. It's a test. Mate is a Swiss Army knife. Friendly, threatening, or just a placeholder. I bumped a guy's beer. He said mate with a tone that meant apologize or else. I did. He grinned. No worries, mate. The accent? They drop letters like they're hot. Water is wada. Here is here. I tried to blend in. I sounded like a bad movie extra. Locals just laughed. Lesson better to be a confused American than a cringe-worthy imposter. I never mastered the accent, but I learned to love the chaos. Australian English beautiful, baffling, and impossible to imitate. Just smile, nod, and hope for subtitles. You'll survive. The biggest shock? Work-life balance. In America, we brag about being busy. In Australia, they brag about leaving on time. Knock-off time is sacred. At 5, everyone's at the pub or beach. It's not lazy, it's normal. I called an office at 4 p.m. Friday. Voicemail. We're closed for the weekend. In the US, that's prime email time. Public holidays are everywhere. Horse races, the Queen's birthday, local fairs. Any excuse for a long weekend. Vacation guilt? Not here. Check your email on holiday and people think you're nuts. Their motto, she'll be right. Car breaks down, project late, she'll be right. It's both calming and maddening. My instinct panic and spreadsheets. Their instinct shrug and surf. It's a different world and honestly I'm jealous. I'm still learning to unplug, but I'm getting there. Australia, where the only thing urgent is happy hour. The Outback isn't a theme park. It's a place of raw, untamed beauty, but also relentless brutality. The sun beats down, the land stretches endlessly, and everywhere you go, you're swarmed by persistent, buzzing flies that seem to have no fear of humans. The Aussie salute isn't a friendly wave. It's a desperate, constant flapping of your hand in front of your face, trying to keep the flies at bay. And as for the wildlife, it's as if Australia collected the world's most venomous creatures just to keep you on your toes. Snakes, spiders, scorpions. Every step is a gamble. Our guide's advice was simple but chilling. See a brown snake? Freeze, don't move, and hope it's in a good mood today. Out here, even the advice comes with a nervous laugh. I found myself spending more time scanning the ground for movement than actually admiring the scenery. Every stick looked suspicious, every shadow a potential threat. But then you look up and the landscape takes your breath away. Endless red earth stretching to the horizon, under a sky so wide and blue it almost hurts your eyes. Out here you feel tiny, almost insignificant, and deeply humbled by the sheer scale and power of nature. At night, the stars explode overhead, so bright and so many, you feel you could reach up and touch the Milky Way. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant call of wildlife. It almost makes the flies and snakes worth it, almost. But what really surprises you are the people. In a place this tough, the locals are unexpectedly warm and welcoming. In a land where survival can depend on a helping hand, everyone looks out for each other. Community isn't just a word here, it's a way of life. Strangers wave from dusty trucks, stop to help if you're in trouble, and always have a dry, witty joke ready to lighten the mood. There's a resilience here, a sense of humor and camaraderie born from living where nature is always the boss, and hardship is just part of the daily routine. They face every challenge with a shrug, a grin, and the classic Aussie no worries, no matter how tough things get. The Outback teaches you humility, the value of community, and of course how to wave off flies with a certain rugged style that only Aussies seem to master. It's not for the faint-hearted, but if you're up for the challenge, it's an experience you'll never forget. The Outback leaves its mark on you. If you survive the Outback, you've truly earned your stripes, and a story or two to tell for the rest of your life. And after all that, you'll never complain about city bugs again, I promise. The Outback changes your perspective forever. The Great Barrier Reef, nature's masterpiece. On the surface, just blue water. Underneath, a city of color and life. Snorkeling was humbling. Others glided like mermaids. I flailed like a drowning frog. Even the fish looked judgmental. The reef is breathtaking and fragile. Coral bleaching is real. Beauty and loss, side by side. Floating above the reef, you realize how precious and threatened this world is. My day was a mix of awe, awkwardness, and sunburn in places I didn't know could burn. The reef left its mark on me emotionally and physically. It's a call to action delivered by fading coral, not politicians. My trip summed up beauty, awkwardness, and a new respect for sunscreen. I left with memories, humility, and a sunburned back, and a promise to never take nature for granted. Did Australia flip my life upside down? Yeah, nah. But it did change me, sarcastic, sunburned, and a little more relaxed. I left America tightly wound. I came back knowing the difference between a flat white and a long black, and that sometimes, she'll be right is the best answer. My worldview expanded. There's a whole other universe down there, where the seasons are backward and the sun is a supervillain. I learned to laugh at myself, unplug, and not take life so seriously. My new skills, spotting snakes, in theory, doing the Aussie salute, and understanding 40% of the slang, the most dangerous thing in Australia, the sun. My respect for SPF 50+ is eternal. Australia didn't give me a Hollywood adventure, it gave me hilarious, awkward, wonderful memories, and while Vegemite is still a crime, I'd trade nothing for the experience, except maybe a lifetime supply of Tim Tams.